I will decrease the sound. Okay. Yes, Honor Cake is Mannco. It's the same guy. Okay, I just decreased a bit the speed. It was fast speed for some reasons. I put it normal with at least twice the speed with the use of cheat engine. Okay, so the second bar was found for BandleCity. Maybe a bit too late, I would say, forcing the villagers to go for meals. Well, red maps is definitely better than blue one, but at least it built its lumber camp in the back. From what I know, Calynndohtor tends to be quite slow in researching feudal age. No hurry here. Oh, loom was missing. Oh, that's too bad. Well, it looks like Calynndohtor is not afraid with the distance to go for deers. I don't know if it will be punished. At least we should see some army from blue pretty soon now. While Calynndohtor, I think, tends to research castle before training any units. So how do you feel, Philosopher? Are you confident against this AI? Well, I guess that blue already found that mill, but he doesn't care much. Okay, we've got our barrack, a second barrack. At least Calynndohtor has something to defend. But care because archers should work against this army. Well, I don't know why those villagers are idle. I think they were the builders of the walls. There might be an issue here with the Duke, I guess. Okay, so let's go for the fight. We've got scale mail, which definitely helps the infantry against the archers. So that's an opportunity maybe for counterattack, but I don't think so. I think that Calynndohtor will stay defensive. At least with crossbows, BandleCity should be stronger for the next assault. Well, Red's army is actually growing. At least we've got fletching, but Bodkin arrow is missing, and of course crossbow upgrade. Yeah, 5 villagers are actually idle. And looking at the population, BandleCity does have more villagers than its opponent, but it kept losing its army. Now the difference is impressive, 5 against 35 units. That's gonna be hard now for BandleCity Garrison. Well, interesting to see that Garrison goes for Imperial Age. Okay, so let's see what are the priority concerning the research BandleCity side. It needs to take an advantage from being Imperial Age against Red. At least with Arbalest, it would be cool. Well, the army is sent one by one, preventing BandleCity to mass the army required to attack Red efficiently. Well, BandleCity is trying hard. Maybe the TC will fall? Not yet. Well, blue definitely need a new lumber camp. Well, it does have one here. That's a lot of food for no gold, almost no wood. It's really a shame we don't see at least crossbows. But at least you've got Jaguar, that's cool. Hmm? Okay, so Calynndohtor almost full population. BandleCity wasn't able to go for more than 10 units, which makes it losing its game. Let's see the efficiency of attack now. Okay, so I think that what makes Calynndohtor winning the game is almost about the way BandleCity doesn't garrison its units that would help to mass a strong army, and at least it sends its army one by one. And the second point is about the research. Garrison didn't make a good use of his speed in researching Castle and then Imperial Age with upgrades which were missing. So at this point I think that I already can give the victory to Calynndohtor for this first match. Yeah, look at the population. That is finished. Okay, so good job Calynndohtor, you won it. Let's go for the 4v4. So, hello Kimberley, you're welcome. You just missed one game. And yes, I agree with you, Philosopher. Massing units before an attack is always better. Well, I'm scared that lumber camp is actually missing for green. And same for grey. Okay, we've got one lumber camp eventually. Green side, I don't know. It went for a barrack before the lumber camp, which is definitely not something good. Okay, we've got a lumber camp eventually. I think that the build order definitely should be improved. So let me have a look about the bracket to see who would be the next opponent for the winner. Well, the winner will play against Ryuboom and the loser will play against Rage. That is going to be a pretty hard next round for both of those AIs. Oh, that duo, man. That duo is not great. I don't think that the pass is possible with this duo. But I really like the wall from blue with the pass under the TC. That's something really human-like. Well, it looks like Calynndohtor will try to hit every deer around on the map. Maybe even those ones. Okay, so green is the first in action. For some reason grey is attacking at the same time, which is a good point. Well, the flanks are doubled actually, so that's why the battle is actually won by BandleCity. That's a lot of archers. Well, it's a good spot for the castles. Just in the front, from boss. Well, it's impressive to see that Grey did have the resources required to build two castles at the same time. No, we just want to see the Calynndohtor's pocket to enter the fight. Red is okay, but orange already suffered a lot. Looking at the population, 25 pop. And yes, we see that BandleCity is not consistent in its research. We see Grey, which is eventually having the crossbows, but we had to wait a while Green was way faster to get this research. Well, it looks like we will have a 1-1 at the end of this game, so we can expect a 2v2. Well, I didn't realize that green is already in Imperial Age, joined by blue now. And the game is turning in a 4 versus 2. Purple and yellow definitely needs to react. Maybe getting the Imperial Age research might help yellow to start to attack, while orange is almost dead. Well, it looks like BandleCity is a mix of TSA and a techno, depending on the situation. Well, Grey does have an impressive amount of food, and gold is missing, something which definitely is easy to fix, at least with the market. Well, that's a lot of resources sold for gold, while for some reasons we've got gold which is free around the TCs, around the town. So the gatherer percentage shouldn't be fine. It looks like Calynndohtor can do a comeback here. Okay, so this is to come back. Orange and red are eventually booming again. We see that the issue with BandleCity is the fact that it doesn't have army just because it doesn't have the gold to train the units required. Archers, Eagles and Jaguar required some gold. It's not meaning gold for some reasons. So at this point Calynndohtor just need to push and to get the second point for this match. Okay, eventually we got gold miners. Well, I don't know what happened, but after 1 hour of game, we've got the gatherer percentage which is fixed. Well, that's not many trade cards at this point, but of course we've got 16 trade cards BandleCity side, while we've got 0 trade card for Calynndohtor. That's an issue, I think. Kalin should trade. Okay, so it looks like BandleCity is back in this game. We've got eventually a decent army composed with almost 35 units each. And at least without trade card, I don't see how Calynndohtor can keep playing in that game. It definitely needs some gold. And Red made a comeback, but once again it's pretty hurt. Okay, so purple is the one remaining not touched, but yellow is in very bad shape now. While red managed to survive, despite the fact that it's 1v2 against teal and blue. Green is actually focusing the middle of the map. Well, that's turning fine for BandleCity eventually. Okay, attack now, purple. Come on. Well, that's funny to see that blue ramps are doing the work job by themselves, but I don't see any unit to support those ramps. And once again we see that BandleCity does have some troubles to maintain a good amount of population, military population I mean, while yellow and purple are back to full population. So the game is definitely not over. And orange is back actually with 100 population. Well, I think that I will increase the speed. This game is turning pretty long now. Well, unfortunately, Red didn't manage to build one TC in a safe position. And I'm really surprised by the way Purple built its TC, just all in the corner of the map. And same for Yellow. It's a pretty safe way. Okay, so there is still some gold remaining, but here we can see that there is no villager on gold. Orange is close to die. It doesn't have any military population. Wow. That's a lot of meals, man. Okay, so at this point I think that I can give the victory to BandleCity. I don't see at this point how Calynndohtor can resist. At least it can resist maybe 1 hour long, but I think the game is over anyway. Yeah, yellow is 19 population. Okay, so Philosopher, you okay with this? Okay, so here we go for the 2v2. Because in fact I don't see how Calynndohtor can do anything more here. And good job BandleCity, despite some issues. Especially with the gathering percentage, the fact that it stays with 100 civilian population, it should be increased at least to 120, I guess. And it needs more trade cards, only 5 per player, it's definitely not adapted. And for the rest, I think that BandleCity did a good job. Okay, so the score is 1-1. And here we go for the 2v2. I didn't expect a pretty long game. Okay guys, so here we go for the 2v2. I'll go back to twice the speed, of course. So at the right we've got BandleCity. At the left we've got the Calynndohtor team. And yellow is probably the one having the worst map among the 4 players, with the forest pretty far from the TC. The gold is in the front. Well, it's the case for every AI here. Well, I have to say that BandleCity Garrison does have a pretty decent Dark Age for a new AI. With 24 villagers, the AI managed to go Feudal Age at the 12th minute, which is something good. We now know that Calynndohtor takes its time, 15 minutes to reach Feudal Age. It loves deers, maybe it should love boars too. It will earn maybe 1 or 2 minutes to research Feudal Age, which is a lot. And I get the fact that Calynndohtor doesn't research Loom just because it doesn't care with the boar, but regarding how far it can go to get the deers, I think that having Loom is definitely an interesting option, just because villagers crossing the map to get the deers is always risky if it meets wolves. Yeah, it's a pretty decent matchup with two AIs having a very different way to play. And for having tested a lot of new scripts, I would say that the scripters concerned have made a great job. I don't see any critical bug in those matches, just some modifications to do to improve the stuff. And once again we can see that the build order is not very clear Calynndohtor side. For example, we see that red does have already 2 mining camps, while yellow doesn't have any, despite the fact that it does have gold miners. And yeah, I really like the way BandleCity built its tower. That's a great offer from electricity. Okay, so I guess that the strategy will remain the same than in the previous games. Well, yellow does have definitely an issue. It's still in feudal age. I think that it's gonna be hurt a lot with green coming. At least green does have some retreat rules to prevent the archers to die under the DC. And for some reason we've got BandleCity having the crossbows this time. We were waiting for crossbows during the whole game in the 1v1. So that's a good point for green. So Philosopher, you need to check what happened with yellow. It refused to build a mining camp. Oh, okay, Philosopher. it builds a mining camp while it does have a blacksmith and market. Well, it looks like BandleCity managed to win both sides. The game is way different than the previous ones, especially the 1v1 in which Calynndohtor seemed to be stronger overall. But here, BandleCity doesn't make the same mistakes. Okay, so it was unexpected the third game would be so fast. Red is almost dead. The score is 2-1 for BandleCity. So, Philosopher, you have to face probably Rage in the loser bracket. So it's gonna be a pretty hard game. Anyway, keep in mind that we've got a lot of game to be played, so you have time. You have a lot of time, maybe three weeks, to see what you can do to fix the small issues we discovered during this streaming. And I would say good luck for BandleCity, because next round it will have to face Rio Boom. So I don't know if Interlepus is around, but we could do Bambi against Imkes Miro. We could do it right now. And maybe keep Real Boom against Rage for... Well, or we can do Real Boom against Rage right now. It would make sense, just because the winner will face BandleCity for the next round. Hello, electricity. You can be proud with the walls from BandleCity. And of course, Philosopher, we can help you. Okay, so